Alrighty, in today's video we are revamping the front of my 2000 model GU Patrol Ute. We are installing a new winch from Bunker Indust thanks to the legends at Vic Off-Roads, doing a couple of mods and repainting the front bull bar, and also installing a cheeky little sun visor straight from the Toyota parts store. Now we're going to be doing all of this in just 12 hours and basically turn the front end of my car from looking like this to looking like this. Let's get stuck into it. Alrighty, g'day legends, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. As you can see, the front of the GU Patrol is looking absolutely disgusting and needs a good tidy up. So I've got a whole stack of parts here that we're going to be throwing on today. I'm also going to pull the bull bar off, do a couple of mods to it, paint it up and throw it back on. Now in this box here, the legends over at Vic Off-Roads have actually hooked us up with one of their Bunker Indust winches. Now we're going to be throwing that in and we're going to be testing it and seeing how it goes. On top here we have a Grandpa spec sun visor straight from Toyota that we're going to be throwing on the Nissan. I've always wondered what the rig would look like with one of these on, so today we're going to find out. Now down here, what I've just knocked over is a custom TRPN grill from Matty over at Outback Bandits. He's done an absolute smick job on it, so we're going to throw that in. Now Matty has also whipped us up some custom TRPN mud flaps, so if we get a chance we will throw them on as well. Alrighty, now I'm one of the worst procrastinators of all time and it usually takes me absolutely way too long to complete sometimes the smallest of tasks. So today I'm actually setting myself a time limit of just 12 hours to complete this job. Now because I am doing some painting, I'm going to start this afternoon. I think it's about 2:30 in the Arvo. We're going to do a couple of hours this afternoon and then I'm going to come back tomorrow and finish it off. So I'm going to set the timer on my phone right now. Alrighty, there we go. The time is ticking. Let's get stuck right into it. Alrighty, the sun is going down fast, which is not ideal. Probably shouldn't be painting this thing this late in the afternoon just because it's going to get wet and dewy and probably the paint. But I'm going to quickly lay some paint on it, I reckon, and then I'm going to throw it inside the shed, hopefully, without wrecking it, and let it dry overnight. If we don't get it on tonight, it's going to be the pain in the ass tomorrow trying to paint the black and the white in the same day. So I'm just going to blow it off, give it a wipe down, and quickly hit it with a lick of black. I wouldn't recommend mixing your paint up like this, but we are in a hurry, so I don't really give a Alrighty, it's day 2. Let's get stuck back into it. We have 10 hours and 7 minutes left on the clock. It seems like a long time, but I think it's going to go quick, so we better get stuck into it. So I've seen someone on TikTok with the same bull bar as me actually trim these little wings off the front of the bull bar, and it looked much more slimline and sleek, and I loved it. So I thought, stuff it while we've got the bull bar off and we're giving it a paint job. We might as well go ahead and trim it off and see how it looks. I just got some primer in the spray gun. I'm just going to spray the areas where it's bare metal. just because our top coat won't stick to it. The top coat, our paint will stick to this. This is a powder coated bull bar, so I just like sanded it up. The top coat will stick to that, no worries. It's just these bare bits. So I'm just gonna go through, spray this with primer, let it dry, give them a little sand, and then we'll go ahead and hit it with the top coat. Alrighty, so I've done ourselves a little bit of a mischief here. The other day, I was test fitting up the sun visor, and it's got real sharp edges. It actually comes with tape that after you painted it, you put the tape on the edges, just to protect it. But anyway, we're test fitting it, and I've put a little tape. I didn't have any masking tape, so I used like this sticky tape just to tape it up, just to protect the paint while we were test fitting the visor, and it has absolutely backfired on me. So first off, as you can see here, it's left a heap of residue on there, and it's actually peeled up the paint. And you can see in here, there's a bit of paint already missing. This car was resprayed before I bought it, and they've done a real good job. Like, there's no imperfections anywhere, except for here. And I don't know if you can see on camera, but the primer underneath the paint is real shiny here. And that tells me that they haven't got the sandpaper and sanded the primer underneath here. Obviously, you're supposed to, when you lay primer down, you're supposed to bloody sand it up and roughen it up so the paint sticks to it. And they have not done that in there, and that's why the paint shipped off so easily and just peeled off with the tape. So it's a little bit annoying, but doesn't matter. I got some white paint there. Hopefully it matches up to this paint, and yeah, we'll just mask off a section and just clean it up. So first thing, we'll have to get this residue off, and then we'll sand that primer up a bit better and lay a bit of paint down. Then hit it with a bit of sandpaper. Now I've got some paint here that I got matched up. I just went into Eastland Trade and got it matched up to the paint number on my on the GU. I have this left over from when I painted my canopy doors ages ago, so I already had it. I forgot to get a mixing tin and shit like that, so I do not recommend this, but I'm going to mix it in the actual spray gun, which is probably stupid, but like I said, I don't have a mixing tin or anything, so, and I'm a bit of a dodgy bastard. So don't try this at home, but we'll see how it goes. Now while our paint is drying, we're going to go ahead and attempt to install our custom grille from Outback Bandits. Yeah, I'm absolutely keen to get this thing on. It's going to look sick. Got the custom TRPN logo on it. Absolutely stoked. So yeah, we'll go ahead, rip this grille off and see what we can do with it. Alright, so I've lined it up, and basically it looks like we just got to cut straight across here, across here, across here, and just cut the inside sections off. And there we have it, one f***ed up grille. Alrighty, there we go. I've done a bit of a shocking job just because I'm in the rush. It's not perfect, but it does look absolutely sick. Alright, it's been a little bit now. paint's had time to dry, so we'll go ahead and unmask it. Alrighty, now it's time to install the new bunker in-dust winch, fresh from Vic Off-Roads. I just want to say a big thank you to Vic Off-Roads for sending out this winch for us to test out on the channel. Now, I've only ever run King's winches ever since I had a 4-drive, just because they're cheap. I don't use them very often, and when I do use them, it's usually just to pull out a Toyota, so I'm not too worried about that. So this one is a bit of a step up in price range from the King's ones. It is still very affordable though. So yeah, I'm absolutely keen to test it out on the tracks and see how it goes. Now, I'm just going to unbox it and have a little look inside here. It actually has a light on the wireless remote, and that's pretty cool. If you're ever on a night run and you can't see what you're doing, trying to hook the winch up, you know, trying to let the clutch off and everything, that little light will come in handy. So that is pretty cool. We got the control box here. Another thing I noticed on this, the control box actually has these 2 little outlets here. You flick these up, and it's got a Deutsch plug, so it's a handy little thing if you're going to plug any devices into the front, such as like lights or anything like that. Yeah, you've actually got power to the front of your bull bar with that. It's also got a lug here, so you can run bigger stuff, such as your bigger compressors and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it's obviously got the plug for the wired remote there. What else we got? Now that's the wired remote. Fair lead, bolts, hook. Oh, and the winch itself. Yeah, straight off the bat, this one is much heavier than my King's one, I can do that for sure. Look at that, such a clean, cool design with the yellow and the black. Absolutely love it. All right, I'm gonna get the bar, bring it over here, and we'll start bolting her on. I'm stoked with the black fair lead. Looks absolutely sick on the white bar. With the black hoops, just matches perfectly. All right, I'm just tossing up where to mount the control box. Now, traditionally people mount the control box up on the bull bar here. I'm not a big fan of it. I just don't like how it looks. I think it just stands out a little bit. I'd rather just have the spotties and nothing else up there. So my last control box was mounted up in here. You would have seen it. I took it out of the box and just had it like this, and it's not ideal because, as you can see, the terminals rust and it gets exposed to the elements, and they do tend to fail quite a bit. So I did want to mount it up in the engine bay, but if anyone's got a TD, you know, there's not much room at all. There is a little bit of room in that corner, but it's just going to be it's going to be too hard. So I think I am going to mount this one up in the wing of the bull bar here, right here. I don't know how yet, but I'm going to work it out. The cables on this control box are a bit short, and they're not going to reach around. They're not going to reach around here and to the winch. So I've pulled the old cables off my old winch, and I'm just going to use them. They're a bit longer. So yeah, those cables would have worked fine if I mounted it up on the bull bar, but yeah, like I said, we're going to mount it up under here, out of the way, just so it looks nice and neat. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these new cables to the control box. Oh yeah, that is gonna look sick. Alrighty, we've got all the winch roughly wired in. Just needs a little bit of a tidy up, a few cable ties, this, that. Just plug the remote in here, and we're gonna give it a little test run, make sure it's all working before we go ahead and complete the install. Oh, listen to that. Bloody beauty, she's all working. I'm running out of time. I've only got a couple of hours left, and we're still gonna put the sun visor on. So I'm gonna quickly wrap this up And then I've got to get my mate around here to help me throw the sun visor up. Let's go. All right, I didn't get this part on film, unfortunately, but I was mounting the mounts for the sun visor with the pissy little timber screws that it comes with that screw through the gutter, and I was using my drill, and it's just absolutely clean snapped the screw off inside the gutter, which is not ideal at all. So what I ended up having to do was drill the screw out with a bigger drill bit, and that meant the hole was now too big to fit a screw into. So I ended up having to get a little nut and bolt and actually bolt it in place. Not ideal, but the bolt's probably friggin' better than the bloody little pissy timber screws that it come with anyway. So yeah, bit annoying, but we got it done in the end. Alrighty, now for everyone wondering if you can fit a Toyota sun visor to a GU Patrol, you absolutely can. I've heard they fit to the GQs as well. All I had to do was trim about 5mm of the metal off each edge, and it pretty much fit up perfectly. I did have to sort of bend the edges out a little bit, but yeah, it fit perfectly. Now with the snorkel as well, I will have to space the snorkel out a little bit. As you can see here, I'm just throwing some zip ties in to hold it in place for now until I'm able to make a spacer. I sort of ran out of time in this video, but I will be making a little spacer just to space that out off a little bit. But yeah, other than that, it fits perfectly and looks very good. I think it was about $230 straight from the Toyota parts store, which is much cheaper than the Patrol ones online. I think the Patrol ones are around $400 or $500, so yeah, they're about half the price, and they work perfectly fine. Alrighty, so I've just come out for a drive into the bush in my local area. I was just coming out to look for a little bit of a steep hill that we can test the winch out on. I was hoping to find a little track where we could get the GU stuck and then winch out of it. Then I realised it's pretty much an impossible task to get a Patrol bogged.
Are you sure about that?
So I think what we're going to do is just leave the car in two-wheel drive. I'm going to preemptively hook the winch up. I don't want to be getting stuck on this steep hill and then having to get out of the car and do anything stupid like that. So yeah, I'm gonna just nose up here. I'm gonna run a snatch strap from a tree up there, hook the winch up, leave it in two-wheel drive and just let the winch do its thing and test it out and yeah, give it a good run, see how it goes. Obviously, we don't want to burn the winch out and work it too hard, so yeah, hopefully this will be a good little hill just to test it out on. So I'll nose the car forward a little bit and yeah, we'll go ahead and give this bunker in-dust winch a good run. I'm just going to run me wired winch remote. So I'll just plug it in up here. Alright, now it's obviously got the free spool setting on the back of the winch, so we just turn that handle, set it to free spool, and that should freely come out. That free spool is so smooth, it comes out so easily. Look at that, just one finger, easily pulling it out. Can't complain about that. This hill is steeper than it looks on camera, as usual. This dirt down here is much softer than I thought. Basically, those rear wheels are just digging in at the back there. I'll go and show you in a minute. The winch was basically just slowly pulling 3 tons of dead weight up this hill. It was doing a great job. I was pretty happy with it. But obviously, you're never going to be putting your winch under this much stress. And you don't want to put it under that much stress for a long period of time and burn it out. Doesn't matter what low mount winch you're going to be using, but if you're putting that much weight on it for that amount of time, you will burn it out, you will break it. So I'm just going to lock the hubs in, put it in full drive. I honestly don't even think in full drive I'm going to be able to pull out of this. So I'll put it in full drive, see if we can pull out of it. If not, we'll let the winch do its thing and keep pulling us up here. Now, I must have jinxed myself earlier when I said patrols can't get stuck. And as you can see here, in full drive, I still could not drive up this hill. Keep in mind, I do have full tyre pressure in the tyres and stuff like that. But yeah, so now we are in a situation where we need the winch. So I will let the winch do its thing. Alrighty, there we have it. The winch is working absolutely perfectly. I'm stoked with it. Obviously, that's only a one-off, so it's not a real test of how this winch is going to work. But over the next few months, I will be putting it to its test. In 2 weeks' time, I am going to an event here in Coffs Harbour that the locals hold every year called JLW. So yeah, I'm going to be heading out there, filming the whole thing. So yeah, hopefully we get ourselves into a few situations where we're going to be able to put this winch to the test. I just want to say huge thanks to Vic Off-Roads once again for supplying the bunker Indust winch. I'm absolutely stoked with it so far. And yeah, like I said, I'm absolutely keen to keep testing it out over the next few months. Now, I haven't really done any proper full driving videos on the channel yet. So if you want to see me get out there in the bush and hit some harder tracks, I actually haven't done it myself in probably a year or two. So just basically because the car was set up for touring. So I'm going to be doing a few more mods, getting the car ready to do a bit more hardcore forward driving. So if you're keen to see that, let us know in the comments down below where you want to see us go. Obviously, I live in the Coffs Harbour area, if you didn't know, and there's plenty of tracks around here. So we will be hitting some of the local tracks. And yeah, I'd also like to get out and do a few other places around. I haven't done much hardcore forward driving out of Coffs Harbour just because there's so much here. There's a few places I would like to get down to. I'd love to get down to the Vic High Country one day, up to Queensland. Obviously, Big Red and Little Red are gone now, so unfortunately we won't be tackling them. But yeah, let us know of any other forward driving places you'd like to see me go.